Sonny Pelayo. And on the other side of my voice, operating the camera is Mary Pelayo. We'd like to present to you our snapshot arrangements of the family. To your left here is my grandmother, Julia Kawai Kanu Na'auao. And then over here to the right is my mother, Rose Kalei Na'auao Pelayo. I'd like to take you back to where they originated from. They originated from the island of Maui, the Hana district, Kipahulu. You see here right now is the family home in Kipahulu, which is located on 4.10 acres of land. Right here, the house is no longer there, but it was torn down about 10 years ago because it just rotted out. And then on the porch here, you see my ancestor. I'm assuming that this is my great-grandmother, my grandmother, and my great-grandfather. As you can see, in the olden days, the house is built up top of the rocks of the lava rocks. And then going back, we have some of my ancestors, by which I do not identify. The only one I could identify in here is my grandfather, Solomon Kana'auao Pelayo.
No, it's not Pelayo.
I'm sorry, Solomon Kana'auao Huewaa. And then here we have Julia Kawai Kanu holding one of her, her babies. And over to your left here is my Uncle Saul Huewaa #2. And then, unfortunately, we cannot identify any of the kids in here, or any of the, I'm assuming that this might be another Huewaa. So my grandfather had 3 brothers, so this might be one of them. And then this picture represents the Honolulu Rapid Transit gang that he used to work for. They're preparing for a luau. You can see how big a man my grandfather was. This is him right here, over to the right, far right. I could not, or we could not identify any other family member within the group shown here. Now this is another interesting picture. On or about early 1930s, I'm assuming that's looked like about 1930 and 1931. When they moved from Kipahulu, Maui, they all took residence in Honolulu on School Street. And from School Street, they made Kamakapili's church their home church. In this picture, there's quite a few of my relatives represented in this picture. We have here right now is my Uncle Saul, my Uncle George, Inaina Na'auao, and then we have Robert Kaho'okele Na'auao, and then we have my Auntie Mileka. This is my Auntie Mileka, Mileka 2, which is she's married to Fred Robbins, and then we have my Auntie Rachel, who's married to Uncle George, and we have Auntie Edith Kaho'one, who's married to Uncle Robert, and then there's another family member in here, which is Auntie Irene Perkins, another member of my family, which is my grandmother's child. And then this picture here goes back around in the early 1940s. I guess when we all used to come from Wahiawa, we used to go to church in Honolulu, Kaka'ako. This church was a Pentecostal church. Run by, they used to call it Sister Mukler. And then in this picture we have various families. Again, when they switched from Kamakapili, I guess they went over to the Pentecostal church. In this picture here, we have Solomon Na'auao and Auntie Priscilla and her family. We have Auntie Evelina Apella and her family in here. And also the children of Annie Mileka Robbins in here. So I'll try to point out to you who they are. This is right here is Uncle George, Inaina Na'auao, Uncle Saul, and then we have here Auntie Evelina, Auntie Priscilla, and way over here you have Sonny Boy Robbins, then you have Junior Na'auao, Roland Na'auao, then you have Kau'i, and this is Palihua, then you have Hunani, and then Eleanor, and over here you have Roland, and this is Roland and Georgie Apella, and then right here you have Rosalani Robbins and Anna Mae Robbins. So you can see, by the way, and this is Auntie Rachel also too. I guess in the olden days when everybody switched church, the whole family switched church. So that's the way I guess it goes. So they left Kamakapili Church and went to join us. Now here's a great man. I always admire this man. He's my uncle, Fred Robbins. He feared none. He was a fearless man. He wasn't afraid of anything. No matter how big a guy was, he took him on. Or even when he used to go fishing, he was a hell of a diver. When he went out fishing, he always came back enough food for the whole family. So a story was told me that this guy used to swim from Hanauma Bay, and he all the way from Hanauma Bay past the blowhole, and my father used to follow him on the car. And then when he used to get down to
in the water,
he used to swim in the water. I'm not kidding. And when he came up, his whole line used to be full with fish, and he was a diver. I used to see him when I was a kid. I actually witnessed him carrying 200-pound bag rice in one hand, in each hand, holding it up above his head, and that's how strong he was. And then he had strength in him which he did not really know for himself. And
we're sideways there.
Oh, sideways.
Sorry about that. We got to turn it around. Okay, just a minute. Be back. Oh, why won't it fade?
Okay, we're back. In this picture, continue with the Robbins family. This is taken about 1955. We have here Auntie Milaka, Uncle Freddie, and this is Baby Roy. And this was taken at Barbers Point Lighthouse. Is Uncle Freddie, he's crying. And down here, what you see is when Uncle Freddie was in the royal court of the Aloha Week festival. So he portrayed the kahuna man in that. And here we have Auntie Mileka when she was young. This is Auntie Mileka. I'm not sure who this is. I can't identify who she is. And above here, she is with her brother and sister. This is Auntie Mileka. And this is Uncle George, Inaina. And this is Auntie Irene Perkins. Auntie Irene, as you know, was hanai by her uncle, the Uncle Inaino. So that's the reason why we have not really seen her much within the family outings and everything. Here we have, I'd like to point out to you, which is my mama Rose Pelayo holding Rosalani, Kali'i Ha'o Robbins here. So, and again here, this is taken around 30s, early 30s. We have my brother Albert Pelayo. He was actually one of the, besides Auntie Evelina, he was the next oldest grandchild of the Na'auao family. And then we have here right now, we have Rosalani, Anna Mae, who was the second, and Sonny Boy Robbins. And up here you see here is Albert in his young days. Albert Pelayo.
Wait, let's see if I can... Okay.
And in this picture here, you can see Auntie Meleka a little in the early
Oh, wait,
50s.
I'm focused on the top one.
Okay, on the top one here, you have Auntie Priscilla, which is Uncle Saul's wife. So this was taken around in the 1960s. So when we went back and visited her to get some information on her side of the family and on the background of Uncle Saul. And over here sitting with Auntie Meleka is my sister Maka Rose Pelayo Crab. And over to your left here, this is Uncle Bob's second wife, Auntie Urana Fernandez. And then she was formerly married to the Isaacs also. So she met Uncle Bob through the Kamakapili Church. And her brother went to Kamakapili Church, and my understanding that they, knew each other since childhood. Here we have Anna Mae Robbins, my cousin. They're my first cousins. And then Lahela, Uncle George's daughter, Rachel Lahela Na'auao. And here we have a lot of people. We talked about Auntie Mabel Kulani Akea, who was a school teacher. This is Auntie Mabel when she came up here in the 50s, visit Alice and us in the 50s. And here we have Auntie Rachel, Uncle George, Inaina Na'auao's wife. And then you have my cousin Sonny Robbins. And then this is Lahela and her mo'opuna, Kepola. Here's another interesting picture here. We have my Uncle Saul when he was young, and my brother Albert. This picture was taken at the Kilauea Lighthouse. This is the bottom of the Kilauea Lighthouse going into the tower of the lighthouse on, in Kilauea, Kauai. And then the bottom picture that you see here are the three brothers, the Na'auao brothers. The oldest one was Solomon Na'auao. And then the one in the middle is Robert Kaho'okele Na'auao. And then the one over to the right here is George Inaina Na'auao. And then again we have a picture of Uncle Solomon when he was young. This was taken about 1927. According to the license plates, it says 1927, so I'm assuming that's about the 1927. Now this picture here is when Uncle Bob and Auntie Edith got married, and they came to Waihoa and visit us. So they're on the honeymoon.
Really?
So this picture is their picture of the honeymoon. And going back again, like what I showed you in the pictures here, this is Uncle Bob and Auntie Edith was coming up to the mainland. So my uncles were down there to see them off at the boat. So and this is again Uncle Saul, Uncle Bob, Auntie Edith, and Uncle George. And below in this picture here, they also was down there to see them off was one of the church members from Uncle Saul's church. Brother Librando was a Filipino, man. He was very active in church. And here is a picture of Uncle Saul and his family. This is like around in the 1930s. Like you see him, this is in the back of the kids that we say there's a pipe running down here above ground. And there's in the backyard. And then if you remember the outhouse and everything used to be over to the left here. And right along here, right back here was a store. And that's where in the back of here, the back of the area used to be a nursery. And that's where we all used to play once we come down here. And the mango tree was all back there, and all the type of fruits that you wanted to eat was back there. In this picture we have Kauai, which is the oldest. By the way, they lost their first baby, Mildred, right around in the 29s or the 30s. So Mildred was the first, and then Kauhi was the second one. The third one was what you call Junior Boy, named after his father, Solomon Na'auao Huewaa. And then Roland. Then you have Lanihuli. Then you have Everett and Aunt Priscilla. And you can see the part of the house back there. This is the old house back there in the veranda when we all used to sleep on top. And then here we have the two brothers, Uncle George, and then Uncle Saul. We had another family which we talk about. She was the oldest grandchild of the, what you call, the Na'auao family, and that was Auntie Evelina Caminos. Her mama died when through what you call in the early 20s from tuberculosis. So this is Auntie Evelina, and then this is Auntie Evelina with Alice's son and daughter.
You down below.
And then this is here Eric Miller, and then Ace Lynette, Irmgard, and now she calls herself Ipo. And then this is Branscombe. Now he's the famous actor. So.
Is it the two-gun? The two-gun.
Six Skillet in the Renegade. He's
six-shooter.
Six-shooter. Well, whatever.
Renegade.
Okay. Okay. In this picture we have Auntie Evelina and my mama Rose Calais, and this is me on Decoration Day in what do you call the 1930s. So it's about 34 or around that time. So that's when they just buried my grandfather. So
maybe,
that's at his grave.
Maybe that was the funeral.
And then from there, then the again this is Auntie Evelina, and then Sister Mahoe, and then this is Auntie Evelina's daughter, Mary Ann, and her family, her children, with Herbert Baksharak, her husband, the son-in-law. And this is Auntie Evelina. And then here we have Auntie Evelina's youngest son, Albert, and his wife, Linda, with their children. Albert, by the way, is what do you call, he's in Maui now. He's what do you call, a supervisor for the airport maintenance back there in the Maui airport. So again, we have some pictures here with Auntie Evelina when she came visit us in in Torrance in the 1960s. And this is my little girl, Miley. She's not a little now, but she's big. And then Alice. And this is my wife when she was in her shape. She was real nice and skinny at that time.
Not so skinny now, huh?
Not so skinny now, so I pick up a little weight. And again, this is Mary Ann and Auntie Evelina. In respects, we don't call Auntie Evelina what you call cousin, because we had a lot of respect for her. She actually grew up with my what you call my mom and my aunts and them, so they would consider her as part of the sister. So they were very close. And this is Auntie Evelina's daughter Eleanor and her husband, the Leos. And then we have here again Mary Ann and Blossom, which is one of the daughters, Auntie Evelina. And over to my right here, this is when we went back again in the 60s. This is a picture with Auntie Evelina and her son, Georgie Apella, and his son, and also Eunice Punani.
Eunice?
Yeah, that's
what her name? Eunice.
That's her American name, Eunice. And this young man right now today is what you call, you won't know it, he is the head trainer for the San Diego Chargers right now. So this is when you say Kamal, that's him, George Kilkey, they call him Kilkey. And then you have here Auntie Evelina again and her friend. And then again, Albert and his wife. And again, I go back again to the Pelayo side of the family. This is my mom when she was in the 1920s. This is when her young, before she got married. And this is my mom with her firstborn, Albert, my brother Albert. This was in 1922. And then this is like around in the later 20s and the 30s, the later part of the 20s and 30s. This is my dad, Filipino, Valencio Galang Pelayo. And this is where they used to live before. Now, my understanding, this was Watertown. They call it Watertown. I know it's around Huewaa someplace. So dig the outfit that she had. That was the outfits during that time, I guess, you know.
Pretty dress.
Pretty dress. And then we also have some a picture here when we were living in Huewaa. Auntie Mabel, which is the daughter of my grand uncle. So this is because that's my Uncle Saul's brother's daughter. So that was Hui,
David.
Hui Huewaa. So that was her father. So these the both of them are first cousins. This is her car that.
And that's your mother.
That's my mother, right? This is in Huewaa, taken right across the field there, where our house is over to the right.
Auntie Mabel looks so dressed up. She's even got shoes on.
Well, she's a school teacher.
And where's your mother's shoes?
She's typical Hawaiian.
Hmm.
You know. But when you go to school, you get educated, so that's why you put shoes on. And this is my mother. When she got educated, she put her little pants on, and she got some, you know, this is our house on Britannia Street.
Wait, I'm trying to focus. Wait. Okay. That's the best I can get it. The lighting is not so good. I don't know why.
Okay, and this is
okay, where are
my
we?
mother with my sister Maka when she graduated from Kamehameha School in 1952. And at that time, in the 50s, my uncle and my auntie had separated. So when he separated, he came to stay with my mom and us
Where are
on
you at?
Britannia Street. So this is my Uncle George, Inaina Na'auao, and this is his sister, Rose Na'auao, Calais. And this is Calais, also taken at another date. This is on Britannia Street in Honolulu. And on or about in the 50s, my mom came up to the mainland. And then was her first trip actually leaving the islands, other than going to Maui and everything. So this was her first long trip outside the Hawaiian Islands. So you have here my mother, and this is Eunice, Punani, Akela, and then this is me. This was taken up in the what you call the snows up in Big Bear. And then this is the first time they ever touched the snow. And then again, this is my mom, my sister Alice, and Punani. Thank you. Again, and this is another family here that we have, which is the Julia's family and Alice's boys. When Alice came up to the mainland, and Julia and Paul actually adopted what you call Eric and what you call
Ermi.
So they took the name Ayo, Paul Ayo. So that's what when I was in service, they sent me what you call the picture. This is their first picture. And this is when the kids came up in 1958. So they were down at the street, San Clemente Beach. We have some pictures here, some of the last pictures of my mama just before before she passed away. So we have here again, this is during the Christmas time at Maka's house and on Britannia Street. At that time, Maka had actually had 3 kids there. And then she had Pumana, Michael, and the little Moses. You can't see Moses in here. And we have Herman, Junior Boy, and Eric. And here are the 3 carrots right there.
And
and the
Ermi, isn't there Ermi in there? In that other picture?
Right here. Yeah, Ermi's holding Humana there on the top.
Wait, you didn't give me a chance to focus on Ermi. Okay.
Again, more pictures of the 59th, the gang spending Christmas. And this is my mom.
Wait, let
The
me
shawl that Alice, I think, sent her.
see. I made that, her that.
I'm sorry, I take that back. My wife made that. I want you to understand that my wife made that shawl.
I made the shawls for all the women in the family that year.
Yeah.
Except me.
Yeah. Mary Silva Pelayo. Okay, here is another one in the family that's very, I think, for our age, who's all in the, we call, my generation know her very well. And she's very instrumental within the Na'auao family. From the standpoint, she would actually, like we say, grew up with my grandmother. My grandmother and then grew up. And then how I say that, because she was the adopted daughter of my uncle, my great-grand-uncle, Kahanu, and his wife. His wife, Wahine Ai'a, legally adopted her. When they adopted her, she was only 6 months old. And then another interesting story about her, when they adopted her, they gave her the name Kauai Kaunu also. She was also named Kauai Kaunu. And then in the adoption papers called her Kauai Kaunu. And then her parents were what you call Laumihi. That was her mother. She was a Hawaiian, Laumihi, and her father was Antone. So they gave her up when she was only 6 months old. And then, so that's why I say she was brought up with my grandmother. My grandmother then took her just like a sister. So, and then we have here, this is her daughter.
And everybody called her what?
Well, we called her Auntie Julia Ele.
Okay.
So that was, everybody knew her as Auntie Julia Ele. So that was her name. But actually, she went by various names, so you couldn't tell which one she had. That at that time when you talked to her, she was known as Lopez. She was known as Kuahilo, and she was known as what do you call it?
Kaimi?
No, Kaimi was the last one, and she was known as Kahanu also too. So with this, I hope we did not bore you. So I'm going to say that this is the pictures that I thought would be interested in sharing with you folks. So if you folks have any other pictures that you folks want to share with us, I'm going to put this back on just for as we discuss American Shoot Something about show where they originated from people who. But we would appreciate if you could share with us any pictures of the olden days, of the 30s, the 20s, or if you have some pictures of my grandmother or great-grandmother, I'd appreciate that you let me know, then I can borrow it, and I'll go ahead and send it back to you. I'll enlarge it.
I'm trying to get
to your face. We hope. Thank you very much. I hope you folks enjoy it.
Well, we've got some more to shoot after this, so, but it's going to be of a different segment, so.
Okay. Okay, this is down in Ala Moana, Honolulu. This is just the Crab family and Sonny Pelayo's family swimming. The day at the beach.